What's up, guys? It's your boy Magic Man here, and oh my goodness, it has been a long time since I've done a commentary. So if I'm a little rusty, let's just shake it off, stretch it out. It might be a little rough around the edges, but hopefully we get what we want to get done. Nice. So you see here, we're on a new channel, MSD, Magic Man, Swifty, Desi. Us three are gonna be holding it down. Hopefully, so you'll have a video more often than just one of us could post. But as you see, we are starting up a MyLeague, and you know who we're going to be doing it with. It's my boy the Bucks, Fear the Deer. But this, I'm really excited. I've had a lot of fun with 2K15 playing versus the computer. Online, there's been some issues. I might get into that in another video, just with input lag and a lot of different things. But playing versus the computer has been very fun. So why not start up a MyLeague? And I'm rocking the Bucks. And let's just look at our roster right here. As we see, we got Brandon Knight, first player right there. He's our highest rated player, 22 years old. But we know one thing that we want to do. I want to make this realistic. I don't want to be making some crazy trades. I want to build us through the draft, maybe pick up a couple smaller free agent gets, and retain our players, because that's usually how a small market team like the Bucks is going to rebuild. We're not going to go out and sign LeBron. We're not going to sign a Melo. We're not signing a superstar. Maybe we can overpay for a medium range player, but that has to be, we got to get our stuff through the drafts and develop our talent. So Brandon Knight, we don't know if he's going to be our point guard or shooting guard of the future. We're going to try him out at both positions. If he can run the offense, that's great, but I'm hoping so we can put him at shooting guard and have someone else who can create for others, like knows how to set up an offense. Someone like a Kendall Marshall that we did pick up over the offseason in real life. So we will see what happens with that. Larry Sanders, he's making 11 mil a year, I think. I think he's got 3 years left on his deal. Maybe, I think 4 years left on his deal. Hopefully he can get back to his, top 5 defensive center player that he is. We just need rebounds, energy, and maybe some scoring from him, but we won't be asking too much in the scoring department. And that's where we get to Jabari Parker. Boy, oh my God. When they picked him in the draft, I was so excited. This man has a great feel of the game. He's an old school player with how he plays. Hopefully we can develop more in the mid range. In this game, he is only a 78 mid range and a high 3. So we'll see what happens with that. He lacks a little on defense, but hopefully we'll have to try him out at small forward, power forward, see where we can hide him in that defense. But we don't know if Sanders can cover Jabari's mistakes and the rebounding issues that we could face. Then we have OJ Mayo. He's making, I think, $8 million a year, second highest paid player on our team. And the best I see is him is a 6-man for us. He doesn't really fit with our thing. Maybe we'll trade him. Maybe we'll keep him. See how it goes, and everything up for there. Then we have Chris Middleton, someone we want to keep. He's a great floor stretcher, great shooter, and can be a good scorer for us. Henson, I love this man. If we can develop him, get a little bit better offensively, a jump shot, he's great defensively, and that'll be perfect for us for the future, either at the 4 or the 5 position. Then we have Nate Wolters. He's a little iffy. He's a white boy that can't shoot. He's a great feel for the game, very patient. Came from a small school, I think, in Minnesota. Don't hold me to that. Maybe it was one of the Dakotas. I think it was South Dakota or something. Then we got our boy Greek Freak Giannis Antetokounmpo. He could be a superstar, or he could just be a third option on this team. We'll never know. Then we got Jared Bayless. A kind of a weird signing when the Bucks did pick him up last year, a 2-year deal. Doesn't really fit with the direction we're trying to go. We're trying to get younger, youthful. He is probably our most experienced guard on our team outside of Mayo. Maybe he can provide some leadership for this team. Not really sure where he fits in. But here we're looking at Brandon Knight versus Jared Bayless. Or not Bayless, Kendall Marshall. And how Brandon Knight has better passing accuracy, but a really low passing intelligence. Whereas Kendall Marshall has a low accuracy, but a high intelligence. So we'll have to experiment with, maybe playing them at the same time, or maybe playing one off the bench and one in starters, and we'll see where that goes. Then we have Ersan Ilyasova. This man, I loved him for such a long time. I think it was 3 years ago he had his best season, maybe 2 years. But he's a great stretch four. He had a lot of injuries, so hopefully we can get him back. But I really want to trade him. We're really jammed at that power forward position. We had a lot of small forwards. You can move to power forward and a lot of power forwards already. So I don't really think he fits with our team. We got Jared Dudley. Got him in a trade over the offseason. He's a good veteran leadership at 29. He's our second oldest player after Zaza, who is overpaid as anyone is right there. 2 years for $10 million. I think he's the worst player on our team, so we might need to get rid of him. Then Damien Inglis, he's a French national, kind of like a poor man's Kawhi Leonard. Hopefully he can become a good 3-and-D. We'll work him really hard in the offseason, get him going. And then we got Johnny O'Brien the third, who, he's a face-up power forward. If we can get him to hit some mid-ranges, he's very strong. Maybe a poor man's Julius Randle is a comparison you could make with a better outside game. And he's got a nice feel to his game altogether. But here we're just looking at our contracts again. Brandon Knight is up after this, and he's probably going to want to test the market, but we're going to do whatever we can to try to sign him back because, retaining our players is basically the only way we can, get this team to grow. If we can retain our good players, draft well, keep a good core of players together, let them develop together, I'm excited for this direction that the Bucks are going to take. And then we see here the contract lengths. We got Sanders on 4 years. That's good to have a center locked up. That's defensive and rebounding like him. We got OJ Mayo on 2, Ilyasova on 3 with $8 million. So we might want to, unload him to a contender for maybe a early second round pick. And we got Dudley. Oh, he's got 2 years on his deal. We might need to get rid of Dudley if that does get in the way. And then we look at our staff. Our CFO. He's got good potential, bad business. Maybe he can develop into something. Got a pretty good assistant GM there, and then head coach Jason Kidd. I didn't like the situation of how the Bucks got him. It was a whole weird situation with the Nets, but I think he's a great influence for our young players. He's a younger coach. A young coach, young team can just grow together. Not really sure about the assistant coach, but who is this Liam Jackson rocking the pink little shirt there? Oh my! He looks like a bee just stung his ear. We might have to get rid of him. He's not a great scout. No one's gonna be taking him too seriously. But here we're just gonna show what our opening day lineup is gonna be. We're gonna try Kendall Marshall at the point, Brandon Knight, Middleton, Jabari, and Sanders. A small lineup. Maybe get out on the break, and then we have a larger Walters, Mayo, Giannis, John Henson, and Zaza second lineup. So it gives us some flexibility. Any one of those players can go in and out of the starting lineup other than probably Jabari. No one's really a lock to start. Doesn't matter about ratings. It's going to be who's hot. But then we go to the power rankings, and NBA.com has it as 19th, which is a surprise over the likes of a lot of teams. I thought we'd be in the late 20s. But here's a trade that I was looking at. Ilyasova for Tolliver and a second-round pick. I was wondering if you think that's a good deal. We get a Minnesota second. That should be pretty early in the draft. We get rid of Ilyasova. Keep things kind of clean. Suns get a good floor stretching big man. But if you guys think that's a good trade to go through, let me know. And I should be bringing out some more videos, and I'm pretty sure Swifty's going to be bringing out some crew. So we'll keep you updated in the future. And I think that's it. Hopefully it went good. And see you guys next time. Peace.